This is how to cross Ghana-Togo border, Benin border, and Nigeria border with this passport. How to cross Ghana, Togo, Benin, and Nigeria with this passport, and how I cross Ghana-Togo border with this passport. Let's go through my story, how I cross Togo border with this my current passport. I'm so excited because today is one of my happiest days because I decided to start my African tour, to tour Africa, and one of the challenges that I've heard from most of my colleague YouTubers is that it is very, very difficult crossing or traveling within Africa. A lot of challenges people encounter. Some people get to the border, it takes them about 4 hours to cross the borders. If you check on Wodamaya, if you check on Zion Felix, they all encounter serious challenges. So especially after listening to Zion Felix, I nearly cancelled my trip because 2 days, it's a day to my trip. I listened to Zion Felix and the challenges that he went through before he was able to cross the border. It is unimaginable. So I even told my wife, should I cancel this trip, because it looks as if Wadamaya had a lot of hours at the Ghana side of the border before he was able to cross, and Zion Felix was also talking about almost 4 hours before he was able to cross. But some of us, because of our philosophy, we believe that challenges are there to be overcome. So I said that, I like challenges. So I would also like to go through what some of them went through. I want to experience the kind of things that goes on at our various barriers or borders. So today I decided, I left home very early. I went to the STC yard, and by 8 o'clock, our bus left STC yard, and we got to Aflao almost 1 o'clock. I think the bus was faulty, so for that reason, the car was not moving as fast as we expected the bus to move. So we got there almost 1 o'clock. So when we got there, I went to one driver. Our driver was very hot because of the nature of his car, so I could not communicate with our driver. So I have to go to the next bus and inquire from the STC driver how I will be able to cross the border. So when I saw the STC driver, he says he doesn't know much. All that he knows, so basically he referred me to the security man at the STC yard. So I went to see the security man and I said, I want to cross the border, and how do I cross? So he asked me, there's 2 ways of crossing. One way, there's a back door that the motor riders can take me, or whether I want to stamp my passport. I said, I want to stamp my passport. I basically want to go through the process and know how things are done. So then he said, okay, you will look for a dispatch rider that they know who will help me to cross the border. So he called in the dispatch rider. I have to sit down for about 5 minutes before the dispatch rider came. And before I crossed they told me I'll pay 5,000 at the Togo side of the border and 100 cedis. Initially he said 50 Ghana. So I agreed. So I was there. Then I told them I don't have SEFA on me, the Togolese money. So the security man arranged someone else to come and exchange some of the money for me. It was a little tug of war, but later I have to understand the exchange rate, and with my little mathematical calculation, I bought about 15,000 CFA. So then after getting the money, then the dispatch rider was ready, so I jumped at the back of the dispatch rider. I was hot, so I couldn't film anything, because in my mind, I was expecting tug of war at the borders. So the moment we were heading towards the border, we met a Ghanaian immigration officer who told me to come off the motorbike. So I stepped down. Then he asked the dispatch rider whether I want to cross the border. Then the dispatch rider said, yes, I want to cross the border. So then he says that I should bring my passport. So I asked the dispatch rider, do you know the immigration officer? Then the dispatch rider said, oh, he's one of the officers he works with. So the immigration officer told me that, oh, Togo will take 5,000 CFA and Ghana will take 100 Ghana cedis. I said, no problem. So he took my passport. He didn't take any money at that spot. He took my passport and told my dispatch rider to cross, or to go to the other side, to cross to the Togo side of the border. So my dispatch went, and the immigration officer told me to sit down. He took my passport. So I called the dispatch and I said, do you really know this man? He says, yes, he knows this man, so I shouldn't worry. So I gave my passport to this man, and within 10 minutes, he brought my passport, Ghana stamp, with the Ghana stamp to permit me to cross, and also with the Togo stamp to permit me to go to Togo. So the two stamps were in my passport within about 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes, he came. So when he came, then he gave me my passport, then he said he has stamped this thing. So I opened and I saw French stamp, and I saw this thing, Ghana stamp, immigration stamp. So he told me to follow him so that he will he will send me to the dispatch rider. So we went to the other side. After crossing the border, I was looking for my dispatch rider. I couldn't find my dispatch rider. I have to stand there. So I asked him, so if the dispatch rider is not here, so what's the next? So, I should just pay him the Togo CFA money and also pay him the Ghana, all without receipts. So I have heard from other videos that they won't give receipts. So I gave him 100 for, initially they said 50, but I know maybe he helping me has increased the figure. So I paid him 100 for Ghana stamp, and I also paid 5,000 CFA, which is 5,000 is about 100 cedis. 5,000 is about 100 cedis for the Togo. So I was standing at the border, at the Togo side of the border, looking for my dispatch rider. I stood there for about 7 minutes. I couldn't find my dispatch. So other dispatch riders were pestering me if they can take me. No, I said no. Someone led this immigration people to help me. So I have to wait for the person, at least to pay the person, and also the person bringing me to the border, I have to pay the person. So we were there. Then in about 7 minutes time, my dispatch rider came around. So my dispatch rider came around, and I jumped over the back of the motorbike. He says he has to drive me ahead so that we go and stand somewhere, then he will help me where I'm going, So we drove for about 2 minutes. He ride me for about 2 minutes. We went closer to the beach. Then he took my number. We called where I'm supposed to stay. They didn't pick. So then I said, read the instruction under. So the instruction gave the dispatch an idea of where I'm supposed to lodge. So he drove me to the place. We got to the place. He couldn't locate the place I'm supposed to live. So he called again, and fortunately for us, this time the person picked. And the person said, we've passed the place, so we should come back. and he took me. So my journey from Togo, from Ghana to Togo was very smooth. And I'm sure it was smooth because an immigration officer led me. As a matter of fact, the night before, the whole night I was praying that God should help me to meet the right people, people who will help me. And I say this, that I saw that I met people who helped me from the STC yard, how to change my money, to getting a dispatch, who gave me to an immigration officer. I was able to cross the border within 10 minutes. And this is my story at the border of Ghana to Togo, or crossing from Ghana to Togo. Thank you, and stay in tune as I bring you more about my trip. Ciao.